Okay, language analysis introduction. This is very easy, it'll be very quick. The key elements of a language analysis introduction are as follows. Fat cat pic, hence the large fat cat in the background. Form, author, title, contention, arguments, tone, publication, image, context. The important part in an introduction is how you intertwine and connect and combine these things and show how one influences the other. So you might even say something simply like, this article was written in 2018, a time when gender equality was hotly debated, as was same-sex marriage. And that's just kind of linking the time to the context and what that means, and then you can then link that onwards from there. Almost like a historical, social, cultural approach to your introduction, kind of placing it within the world before moving on to analyze it further. So what I want you to do is pause the video here, attempt to note down the acronym without checking. So if you just wrote it down when I said it, turn that page aside, hide it somewhere, and try and just from the top of your head write out what the letters are and what the words that are actually associated with those are. Because this is what you're going to have to do in INSAC conditions. Just recall exactly what the acronym is and what the words actually mean. Alright, so now you've written down somewhere the acronym. What you need to do is, using some arrows or actually writing your own introduction for an article you have sitting around, is kind of connect up which things you think can go together quite easily. The first three naturally all fit within one sentence. That's really easy, that's really natural. The opinion piece, I love cheese, written by Mr. Chalkington, establishes the contention that cheese is the superior food in our world. So we've got form, author, title and contention all in one there. Moving on, I've got the piece was published on the 25th of December 2019, a time where many people considered Vegemite the superior food. So we've got date, we don't have publication anywhere in here, which is something egregiously missing. But we have context in there. So we've combined context with the kind of key information when it was published and what year. So this is not actually a good example of intertwining. My apologies. Last one. The article is strongly supported by a small image of the author looking smug and an image of a mouse asleep atop a pyramid of cheese, presumably cheddar. So I've covered image. What you need to do, either if you have a paragraph of your own, use that, or not, look at this one. Tick off the things that I have done, and the things I haven't done, try and add those to these existing sentences. So think of this as your skeleton with bits missing, and we need to fill bits in. The only thing the highlighted green arguments is missing, because that's kind of the key thing that you need to do in an introduction, so we'll do that now. Alright, so arguments is the most important part of your introduction. This is your classic firstly, secondly, thirdly type business. As it says here, these three sentences are the bridge between your annotation of the article and your essay. So if you've done your annotation really well, you should already know what techniques you're talking about, what tone has been used, and what the main argument of that section is. So you've boxed up the article into 3 chunks. So they also remind you of everything you need to mention in your body paragraph. So this is, like I said, bringing your annotation into your introduction, and then bringing the section of your introduction into your body paragraph to give it structure, to give it a sense of self, a sense of purpose. So include argument, techniques, and tone. So my example here, firstly, Mr. Chalkington argues about the inferiority of healthy foods. So that's the argument. In a spiteful and aggressive tone, that's the tone, which he supports with statistics, anecdotes, and inclusive language. That's all the techniques. So the order doesn't really matter, but as long as you do all 3 and make it sound smooth, that's lovely. And as I've written here, in language analysis, due to time constraints, you're going to reuse the argument sentence that you use in your introduction, in your conclusion, and in all of your body paragraphs. So your firstly will be the exact same sentence you use at the start of your body paragraph, and when you conclude in the conclusion, the exact same. This just saves you time having to rethink how to make it sound fancier or different. You don't have a lot of time to get it written, so that's how we're going to approach it. So that's my super short summary of how to write an introduction for a language analysis. I think with those simple techniques, ATTE and fat cat pic, you can set up a really strong essay and really clearly outline what you're going to do in your essay, which will help you to actually write it when you get to the body paragraphs.